Deep down in the depths of the World Wide Web lies a parlor of peace, positivity, and a little pinch of enchantment. It's a place where you can kick back and have fun, back to a time when TV was magical. Close your eyes and you'll find your way there. You've made it. Welcome to Tea and Telly. And now that crazy singing Zen priestess cat lady cook, the Willy Wonka to your Charlie, come on in and say hello to Maria.
Well, hello, everybody. Yes, don't adjust your camera. I'm live again. Hey, how are you guys? Good to see you. Good to see you all. Love having you here. Thanks so much for being here. We had quite the crowd last time. I streamed at a different time. There was lots of people there. And now everybody's kind of starting to adjust. Me coming in on the Thursday instead of Friday and a little bit earlier. I like to accommodate my awesome guests because I don't want to miss an opportunity just because the time's a little different. So bear with me, guys. I will be doing more live stuff so that you'll get used to seeing me pop up on here. But good to see you all on here. And Orwell Nation PJ, thanks for popping in to say hello. And Brian, yes, love Brian. And yeah, Elan is on the flyer as well. She's here with me. And Dr. Adega, wonderful guy. He's got a long title. Hello. And Dr. O saying, I'm sure the flyer was important to me, telling yes. And welcome all. And Miss Alicia, my wrench is here as well. Dr. Adega and Alicia doing my wrenchy stuff. And Bonzo, hello. Good to see you. Sci-Fi Mombi saying hello to everybody. Nemesis of Eden is here. I'm doing very well. Thanks to see you. Good to see you guys all. I think I have the whole crew here, so I'm just going to jump right in and bring on the crew so I can shut up. First, foremost, ladies first. You know who's in the house. You saw her on the flyer. So bringing her on here with me, Miss Elan, the beautiful one. Yeah, there you are. Now I can see you then.
Now you can see me. Am I clear now? Hi.
You're a little bit more clear. Hey, I was like, you're too cute to be blurry, so just go fix that.
Okay, thank you. And you know what? I couldn't see it on my end, so I'm glad you let me know.
No, it's just, I don't know why it was, bandwidth or something. But then let me bring on our other co-host who was here with us last time. And we found an awesome way to communicate. It shows just what kind of team we can be. But love that he's back on. Let's hope, crossing our fingers, that we got good communication here. Hey there, James. Good to see you.
How are you?
It's working. Yes.
It's working. Yay.
So, yes, good to have you and good to have you working this time. I was telling him backstage how last time we were doing things through writing stuff, and that was fun. It
was literally sign language, making signs.
Yes, literal sign language. But it worked.
Today I'm out in the driveway by the street, by the garage.
By the garage. Best place to be. So nice to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be fun because our guest today was here with me last time, and a lot of people were like, is he coming back? I was like, it's because we had lots of fun. So let me bring him on here because he's too cute to hide backstage. To introducing, for those of you who haven't met him, and for those of you who saw him last time, welcome Bryan McClure to the stage. Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Applause. So good to see this. And this, Bryan, this is James. James, this is Bryan.
How you doing, James?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Anyway, so good to have you. Last time, guys, Elan and James, we Bryan and I did something that was just kind of unusual, but it was still fun to this day, and people still talk about it. We actually made s'mores live on TV, and that was lots of fun.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Wow.
It was delicious.
That
it was
sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, we always talk about cooking.
Yeah. Well, I had actually never had them before. And Bryan's like, what? Who are you? And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's crazy. So I tried it for the first time and I fell in love. Now, every time I walk by the store and they have a little section together so you can make them, I'm like, Bryan, Are you seeing this?
It's an honor.
It's not, yes. And yeah, so Elisa's saying, "Hey, Brian, it's been a minute." And Elisa's also saying, "Welcome back, James." And everybody's saying hello to Elan and hello to Brian and everybody. So thank you. Let me see what Doctor's in. Don't knock writing signs. That's how Keanu saved everyone in Speed. That's so true. That's true. That's true. No, we didn't bring s'mores this time. I didn't bring any food this time. I brought my water.
Oh, no. That
That's
sounds
not
so
my-
yummy.
I have the
Have
hose
you?
right here.
You have the
have
hose. He's ready to put the fire out. What do we use? We think we use candles. I was using candles.
Yeah.
We're over with the
Might even-
candle heater.
I think I'm
You just
even
gotta get
just
the
used
marshmallows toasted any way you can. You know, it's old school. I'm telling my age again. You take the clothes hanger, take the clothes hanger off and toast it on the ends of the clothes hanger. And it tastes really good that way. I don't know why. You know, it gets
With the
burnt
clothes
on.
hanger. Nothing
Yeah.
tastes good like nothing says love like metal on metal in your
know.
mouth. What were you saying,
That's how
Brian?
we
I'm
were
sorry.
as kids. We're
Oh,
not like
sorry.
the new kids. They have everything.
Yeah,
at
I
their
know,
fingertips,
right?
all the young kids, right? We had to do the old school. No helmets, ride the bicycles.
I know,
and-
man. We'd use our hands if we had to. Just kidding. Oh,
Yeah.
and there's a little delay, guys, with the Alonso, partner. But Brian, what were you saying?
Oh, I think I might have even used just like a lighter. Did I use a lighter or?
Oh, we'll have to go back and see that. I need to capture that moment. And you know what? It's so awesome to have you at this time because today, say hi to the neighbors. Today I hit 35,000 subscribers. I'm over it a little bit over now. So it's been growing like crazy. So anyway, I would just want to let me see. Pranakasha Productions, Matt, thank you with the super chat of $9.99.
What's up, Matt?
Super duper chat box. Yes, it's super duper. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. All your contributions go to saving other cats. So thank you for that. It's always good to have that. And thank you. And yeah, thank you. Yeah. Good to see Brian. I told you people were asking about you. Well, there's Miss Julia there saying, "Good to see you, Brian." Hey, so I'm keeping up with the chat here and see for s'mores heat guns. I don't think I've ever tried that one. I don't know if I want wax on. I'm sure that's not what he meant. Anyway, yes. Oh, that's Brian. I was like, "Hey, Brian, saying hi to Brian." I'm an idiot. Okay. So anyway, Brian, you have been since you were last on here. You were already doing stuff, and I had watched one of your movies that I loved so much that I wanted to go back and see again because it was just too fun. And some of the actors there have also gone to other things. But tell us what you have been doing lately to keep them so busy.
Wow, it's been a few since I've been here, so I think a lot's happened since I've been here last. I'm not even sure if I had been on The Walking Dead when I was here
You
last.
had.
I had.
You had just started going on The Walking Dead, yeah.
Okay. Well, this year, quite a few things have happened. I had the chance to do a post-apocalyptic film. The director, Isaac Stovall, he's a 23-year-old guy, and he's making this feature film that looks amazing. He's a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and he just reached out to me, and I ended on Instagram, and I saw what he was making. I'm like, this is really good, and so I brought my buddy Ethan McDowell from Walking Dead onto it. So both of us hopped on that film, and we did that last month. I have a film coming out tomorrow that I'm really excited about on HBO called The Great Lillian Hall. That has 2 Oscar winners, Jessica Lange and Kathy Bates. And it's got Pierce Brosnan, Jesse Williams, and Lily Rabe in it. And HBO is really pushing it as an Emmy contender. So that's exciting. And just writing and seeing some of my own content. So
Kathy Bates, protect your ankles. Feet. And be like, "Hi, Kathy." No, just kidding. You know, she's probably the sweetest thing ever.
She was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. HBO, that's like big time, you know. I mean, you know, you're doing well when you're, you know, showing your cute self on HBO. So, yeah, that's awesome. Like, sorry, and you have to excuse me. I was just telling these guys I'm so short that I have a booster chair, but also now I can't reach the floor. So I'm trying to push myself up. So if I start sinking down, you guys, you know, don't worry about it. I'll be back. But anyway, oh my goodness. So what do we got here? Jessica Lange got her first film role in King Kong in the late 70s. Yep, we got a trivia guy back here who knows a lot of good stuff, and that was a good film. So yeah, a lot of awesome people you're working with there, and yes, Colorado cowgirl, yes. And who's saying hi? Mouse of the Destruction. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, I don't know. Nothing much. We're just doing a little show here and talking to Bryan with his awesome house.
Yes. Yeah, it's my dream house over here.
He's got a piano back there.
I know. It'd be like piano. Go play it, Bryan. Go play it.
Yeah, maybe a little later. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so guys, questions for Bryan here, Elan and James.
Well, I'm excited about the HBO movie that you're gonna have Beyond to see that. That's a big deal. Kathy Bates. I mean, did you remember her reference when she talked about the ankles? Did you know what she was talking about? That movie that Kathy Bates was in?
Which one was it?
I didn't think so.
I thought everybody knew.
Like you didn't know what we were talking about.
Nope. Over my head.
Tell him the movie. Tell Bryan the movie when she.
I thought you knew.
Misery.
Misery.
Yes, and she has this man. And she ties him up in the bedroom, and she captures him. He's basically she tied him up to do whatever she wanted, but she would torture him. And she had access. It's just crazy. It was one of her best roles. You have to watch it, and then you'll know what we meant. But I could tell by your face, and I think just because you're maybe a little bit too young, you're like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, I had fun.
James, you knew, right?
Just don't let her tie you up, and then go back and watch the film.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
I
think that movie you saw how she was acted like such a crazy person. Like you really saw her range as an actress. You're like, oh my God. And that's why she was saying she's probably really sweet. But I think it's great to be able to work consistently as an actor. As Marie knows, I have a son who's delving into that part of the business. When I was younger, I did it, but it's hard. And to be able to work consistently and have films and people to work with you, it's such a blessing. And you seem really cool. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for anyone who's working.
Thank you. Yeah. It's not always easy.
I look forward. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to be watching. I'm definitely going to watch.
Thanks.
The awesome thing about Bryan is that he's already starting out not having the stereotypical cast, because that's always hard. And that's also shows talent, so that you can go from comedy to serious to all of that stuff, because you do quite a range, don't you, Bryan?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like to whenever I get the chance. It seems like people that aren't familiar with the full scope of my work, I feel like, oh, he does rom-coms, that's what he does. Or when I first started out, it's like, oh, he's a drama guy, that's what he does. But it's like, stick me in whatever, and I'll do my best to adapt to what that story is.
Do it. Yeah. And poor James, James is also he is known for something pretty amazing, as I was telling you guys. But James, like, you know what? I'm more than just this. But he did it so well that, I mean, who doesn't love it? And for those of you who don't know, he was, and I actually am going to tie this to Elan, but he was on, he did the man hands on Seinfeld. For those
Man
of you who
hands.
didn't know, man
I
hands.
always make reference to my hands. I keep my nails long for that particular episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you may not know this, James, but actually Elan was just telling us backstage that she did a Seinfeld episode too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
It's
on
like
the Jimmy.
family.
I know. She didn't even know that. And I was like, oh, I did the Jimmy a long time ago. I still get those little nice little checks on it.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep getting smaller.
I know. They're so tiny.
Yeah.
Got one for 38 cents last week. It's like,
woo! Yeah, you were rolling in it.
You get excited. You open the check and then you go, oh my God, it's just all wrong.
Yeah. It's like it costs more to print it. Don't even, okay?
well, but a stamp is more than the envelope, So
Right.
But when
You're
they
like,
showed overseas, when they show them overseas, then you get something decent.
Well, we need to push for some overseas showings then.
It's better. So,
Oh, speaking of overseas, Brian, is any of your stuff going to be going overseas?
Those are great questions. I mostly don't know anything about when it's getting released because I'm not involved with the ins and outs of the distribution. But I do believe I heard that The Great Lillian Hall is supposed to be going international. If I heard things correctly, I don't know 100%, but it's my understanding that tomorrow is when it comes out domestically because it's the last day that it can it has to come out to qualify for the Emmys, and that's HBO is definitely putting a big push on that. So that's why it's coming out domestically tomorrow. And as far as internationally, I'm not entirely sure what those dates look like, but I'm hoping to get those good checks.
Hopefully to see you on some novelas because I think you know just a little bit of Spanish. Just enough to walk in and just enough to walk in and give a little Spanish sass.
Exactly.
Or you'll do the expression really well with the Spanish woman yelling at you in her angry voice, and you just stand there going, "Yeah." Oh my gosh. Obviously, I need to eat something because I'm a little goofy today.
It's almost Friday.
It is. Happy Friday Eve, everybody.
That's usually our goofy days, Marie. That and we have our lattes, or I haven't had my latte yet, so I'm not as goofy as normal.
I know, and I loved Fridays because it was fun. It was Friday, and hey, who doesn't love it? But I was like, you know what? I think people like to go after work. They're like, it's Friday. I'm going to go and just have a cocktail and enjoy myself. So they're out there enjoying themselves while I'm over here. Hello. So that's why I moved into Thursdays. But so I'm getting used to Thursdays. But I can't see the chat because guess what? I was taking off my 4 eyes over here. Sorry. I just didn't want that reflection. So let me see what everybody's doing over here. Dr. O saying, I read that Brian knows how to ride a unicycle.
That is incorrect.
A unicycle. Oh, you know how to ride a unicycle?
Yeah. Not yet. Maybe that's something I can start working on.
I didn't even think they sell them anymore. Can you get it on eBay or just, Amazon?
I'm sure if it's for gold, he'll get it like that. He'll learn how to ride. I didn't even know.
You want to find a soft place to fall down on.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Elbow pads and helmet.
The big tight pillow to your butt.
Yes. Do unicycles have training wheels? Because, I would need those training wheels.
It would just feel really uncomfortable, like having nothing with your hands and just riding. I think it would throw your equilibrium off, it seems like. I don't know. It's kind of a weird, unless you're in the circus, it seems strange.
You could learn to juggle at the same time.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. I think Brian does that, right, too? You can juggle 2 things at once.
I can juggle. I'm going to apparently have to update my actor's access resume, my actor's resume.
He's like, I've been doing this since I was 5.
You know, as we're talking about it, I'm like, I might have had a unicycle when I was a child, and I think it did have training wheels on it.
Really?
So I guess it would have been like
Oh
a
my gosh.
tricycle or whatever you can, because there's 3
The
wheels.
tricycles, yeah.
Try unicycle. I don't know.
Try unicycle. Miss Connie saying hi to the whole crew there for everybody. Yes, Misery was Stephen King novel turn movie. That's true. It was a good one. I forget oh my gosh, I feel bad. I forget the star. The star shows his name. I feel bad about that one. And let's see. She was James Carter's #1 fan in the film and hobbles him by breaking and it goes, don't give away the whole thing. Calm down now. Hola, ¿qué tal? Yes. And Rogers, Black Scorpion, a supervillain rock star. Oh. Okay, I haven't seen that one. My files.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I don't have my eyes on, so I have to go like this so I can see what's in the chat.
Yeah, we're all,
So far, I can't see. I always tell you that my vision. I'm always like, huh?
oh my gosh. You see that piece of lettuce we have hanging out in between our teeth?
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
Please
How's the
tell
weather?
me. I would hope you would say something. Don't let us go on camera.
I wouldn't want to embarrass you, but I'd be like,
I don't like this is what my father says to people. Like if he doesn't want to insult people, he has this like kind of southern way about him. He goes, I don't mean you no harm, but you need to check your breath. Like if someone is like the breath is not on point, he'll go, I don't mean you no harm, but you need to check your breath. I'm like, oh my God.
I always tell people just hand them some gum.
Nice.
Yeah, that is sweet. But for me, I'd be like whipping out my gum and then just be like, would you like a piece of me gum?
Well, that's so obvious when we do that, right? Everyone knows that. But he always follows up with, well, it's for your own good. I go, don't say that.
It's horrible. Speaking of like stank breath, since all of you guys have been on TV, I've been on TV, but just briefly, not enough. I've never like kissed anybody on camera that I know of. Yeah, that I know of. And but I'm kidding. But you have to like be with like some. Well, you were smooching all over Bobby Brown in that video and stuff. Have you guys ever like
put my hand up? There was one particular music video that I did, and I had to kiss this guy, and his breath was kicking. And whenever I see him, it was like someone that I kind of liked as a fan. It was a music video, and every time I see, I'm like, his breath was kicking. It was so bad, and like my eyes were burning, and I had to do a love scene. It was a Tupac video.
Oh,
I'm aging
no.
myself again. It was a Tupac video, and this particular video, they had a lot of celebrities in the video. So, do you remember the group? Gosh, I haven't had my coffee, so I can't even think. They're from New Jersey. You'll know it in what if I say, because they were really big in the 90s, really big group. So it was all these celebrities, and I had to make out with them, and it was so bad. Huh? Naughty by Nature.
Oh, yeah.
And the lead group of the guy was all over me, and I was just cringing, and I was like, oh my God. And then they would cut and do the scene again. I was like, no.
I hear the actors sometimes like do mean things to each other, like they'll eat an onion or something horrible beforehand.
If you have to kiss someone, like I tell people though beforehand, I'm like, here's the Altoid.
Mostly I try to be respectful of my castmates, so I would do my best to act. Most sets actually have gum or mint at craft services, so like you don't have to go too far out of your way to be respectful.
Well,
yeah.
Like always like say it in a jokingly way, like I'm gonna do this, let's both do it, I mean, unless you
just get some garlic ice cream.
Like,
some garlic ice cream.
Have everybody eat the garlic ice cream, and then
Then everybody's got the same breath, right?
That's right. Exactly.
That's a good plan.
Garlic
Yeah,
ice
a good
cream with
plan.
chocolate syrup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's
yeah,
actually good.
that would
You don't
work.
want to have pickled pita breath.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I love pickle. Just can't stand the pickle breath. And let me see. We got a question here. Any more Space
On the
Command stuff? Yeah. Well, go away.
on the news last night, I'm remembering KTLA. I briefly remember they had a guy they just arrested, and you know how they give people names like the
Yes.
tree bandit. There was a guy, and I
Yes.
think they were calling him the bad breath bandit,
He was a bad breath rapist. I saw.
rapist, even worse.
And they've been looking
Oh,
for him for 9 years. And you know how we got caught? Then when they were
His
looking
breath.
for him and they flashed
right.
his picture, one of his employees says, "I think this is the guy you're looking for because he has such bad breath and he's our boss." His employee turned him in
Oh my gosh,
because he's a bad breath rapist.
Man,
that's
That's
horrible.
terrible.
Maybe that's why he had to do what he had to do because nobody stood still long enough.
I don't know how we got on this. It's so funny though.
Yikes! You should see me before I have to do the go in for the kiss, man. And I know I'm gonna get to a floss like the night before, the day of, the tongue brush, everything. I'm just like, I got this thing about breath and stuff, and
Me too.
and
Teeth.
yeah,
I love teeth. I got a teeth thing. I have to think
yeah,
about that.
I do too. I
But
like
I lived in
when guys
England
have
for
crooked
10
teeth.
years, and I always tell you this story. I mean, I lived in London for so long, and the people on the news, I just like would turn the news on. I'm like, there's no way in America that they would be doing the news. It
Right,
looked like everyone was at war and battle with their teeth. And it would be just
right.
like someone dressed nice, but the teeth were like just be like,
All wild.
and this was everybody on TV and actors.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
And
actors, it's not a
I heard it
cultural
was
thing.
because they didn't have fluoride in the water
No,
like
they
we
don't.
did. So a lot of that. But
The
Brian, before I
materials are
forget,
not like ours, so it's weird. Yeah, but
yeah, I
just know,
know.
Ryan, when you go to the UK, be prepared.
Yeah.
Like, just don't even bring my toothbrush because I'll fit in
See,
better.
yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you'll blend right in.
Blend right in. I think guys look cute with like little chips and or crooked teeth. They don't. I think they're kind of cute. But it's kind of cute. But what was I gonna say? Oh, we have a question here. Any more Space Command stuff?
Yeah, there's some Space Command news coming up. Our first 2-hour story, which is episodes 1 and 2, now have a distribution. So that's something anybody can go watch. And we just finished our second 2-hour story. So episodes 3 and 4 are in post-production. So that's exciting. And
Nice.
I know our creator, Mark Zickery, if we get the funding, he would like to just finish filming all the rest of the episodes this year, but it's sometimes piece by piece as the funding comes in, which is a really unique way we're doing Space Command because we've been doing it little by little over years, but progress is being made, and you can actually see how more and more is building on what we built. So it's like starting to pick up faster and faster, and we're gaining more and more traction in an audience. So it's really unique process, but it's fascinating to watch and be a part of, and it's inspiring that nobody, that just Mark doesn't take no for an answer, and he'll find any kind of way to like
Nice.
get around, get to what he wants to accomplish. So
It is good working
awesome.
with people like that. Awesome
Yeah.
working with people like that. Can somebody read that for me? Because I don't have my glasses.
Do extras on The Walking Dead have bad breath on purpose as part of the method? Well, most of my scenes were not with any dead zombies, so I don't have any experience to lend to that scenario myself, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
just the natural decomposition of extras,
Yeah.
That's funny. Let's see. Thank you, Miss Alicia. Is putting up Brian's Twitter and anything else that he has on there to keep up with him. He is on Instagram as well and very active on there. I love seeing all the updates you have there. Good to follow him there. James has one too. I think we might have bombarded him last time by plugging in his Twitter as well. But just so that everybody can keep up on what everybody's doing. Orville Nation, PJ is saying, what?
Hey, PJ.
Okay, I'll put on my glasses.
And he said, put on.
Nice living room, Brian.
Oh,
I like that fake greens.
Thank you so much. Thanks for noticing. I appreciate it.
That's funny. He says, not like that fake green scene Man Hands is using for his background. Yeah, it does look a little fake. I mean, it's, nothing's that green. I'm just kidding. That's funny. Yeah.
Well, I have my fake green over here. Mine is like artificial green.
Is it? Yeah. Well, you have to have that when you have pets, right? Because, like, I don't want them chewing on it. So it still looks just good.
Actually, you can't tell it's a waterfall. So it can't.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. It's not on. It's loud, but it's a waterfall behind that green thing.
Oh, sweet.
Down.
Well,
fake stuff is good.
It's a cliff right now.
It's a
no water, right?
Yes.
So.
Well, hey, I'm okay with fake stuff. I got fake stuff, and it looks good. Gravy D says, "Hey, howdy." Actually, says, "Howdy." Let's see. Goes from sci-fi to zombies to rom-coms too. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's very versatile. Very versatile. Brian's very versatile on that one. Everybody's still laughing about the PJ comment there. Make passes at girls who wear glasses. Oh, sorry. I think I just blushed with that one. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. It looks frozen. Yeah, see? Your trees look frozen. Your bushes.
My bushes are his bushes. We both have bushes.
It's bushes. Let's see.
Your bush.
Elan's effective studio. Yes. Yeah. Don't eat it because, well, we don't need to know. Yes, we're getting a sneak peek at Elan's Effect Studio. Yeah. Yeah, Elan's starting her YouTube stuff. Excited. And but you were telling the guys they aren't paying. Hey, well, that's different. It's a different kind of fake. imdb.me/Bryan McClure. So you can check out all his other work too, because he's got a lot of stuff on there we haven't even mentioned, or that he hasn't even mentioned. You're just modest, Brian. You're just, if it was me, I'd be like, well, sit back because I'm going to tell you everything. I was in a Colgate walking by, Colgate commercial, and I was just, see that person walking by? That was me.
I mean, how much time do we have?
I'm kidding. Oh, hey, it's your time. I'm being careful. Well, of all you guys are,
So, Brian, are you from LA or somewhere else, or what?
I'm based in Atlanta now. I spent some time in Los Angeles, but I've been in Atlanta. September will be 9 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 9 years.
There's a lot of stuff. They shoot so much stuff in Atlanta now too. It's like,
yeah, it's been really good. Like what's that?
I said it's like the second Hollywood, as far as filming in the States.
Yeah, and I was really fortunate when I moved. Like I really felt like God was calling me to move down here, and I moved before anybody that I knew moved. I moved in 2015, so I kind of before it was what so many people were doing. So I got my foot in the door at a really good time. Started making connections, got a good agent down here, and just plugged in. Had a really good time. You were
in tune with what your calling is, and it's probably sometimes like your environment is where the magic is, and it makes that environment is what makes it positive for you. It probably works, especially if you're going into an area where there wasn't oversaturated. I hear the food is delicious there. I've only been there a couple of times. I've not really spent a lot of time, but everyone always talks about how good the food is.
Yeah, I mean, if you add butter and deep fry anything, it's pretty good.
Uh-oh.
That's
Butter.
true, right?
That sounds
It's
delicious.
missing something. Butter.
Yeah, butter.
I don't think LA has much of that deep fried butter foods.
Deep fried
Because we're
butter.
trying to stay, like, we're trying to keep our physique. That's the thing,
Oh,
right?
I know.
If I go there, it's going to be all over, right? I'm already working on it.
It definitely requires a specific amount of discipline because you know it's here. And it's like, I can't have that mac and cheese and barbecue.
Oof.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm hungry
Yeah.
right now.
See,
It's like
and
New
nobody
Orleans.
comes.
It's like, huh?
I was just gonna say nobody comes to Colorado unless they need sceneries of cows and trees.
It's
Mountains?
cold. It's cold.
It's cold. It's not cold. How hot
I'm
is it
always
right
trying to
now?
go
Let's
somewhere
see.
where it's warm. Like if I go somewhere, I'm gonna go where it's like Hawaii or somewhere where I don't have to be cold. I don't like the cold weather. I
It's
lived in England for
74.
way too long. I was in London for 10 years and I call it the island of dank. It was a dank island because it was always wet and cold. So I like the warm weather. It makes me happy.
Dank and bad tea.
Oh.
Bad tea.
Oh, look, mommy, I'm cleaning my glasses. She's always getting on me. She's like, no wonder you can't see. Your glasses are dirty. So yes, mommy, I'm cleaning my glasses. Yeah. It's not, but you know what? Like here in Colorado, it's just so not unusual to see like right after it snows, like the day after, people wear shorts. Like there'll be snow on the ground, people run around in shorts. It's just not.
Wow.
It's not like frozen cold, you know. Not like St. Louis when I was there. It would hit you to the bone. And you
We
walk
can't
outside.
we can't handle 70 degrees in LA at all. Like it's 70 and we're like, oh my God, it's so cold. It's so
It's
crazy.
68. Forget it.
Oh, because
What?
it's today and yesterday. Yesterday was okay. Today is like the first day it's actually feel like it's breaking. It's been a cold winter and we're having a hard time. I'm tired
Well,
of
it's
the
been a
cold.
long and wet, a lot of rain.
Yep.
Then in May we have the May gray,
Yep.
and then in a couple of days we're gonna go into June. So then we're
June
gonna have
gloom.
the June gloom. So
Yeah.
and that's basically overcast in the morning. It burns off about 11, and then the rest of the day is wonderful. So
Yeah.
it goes like that.
Bryan, do you have to come out a lot though for shooting, even though you're based in Atlanta? Are you spending half your time because you are really busy? So are you spending most of your time in LA for shooting?
It really kind of, I'm fortunate to be all over the place. Sometimes I come out to LA. I've worked Pittsburgh, Hawaii, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. So it's like I've just been a lot of places at this point, and I'm thankful. Just never know where it's going to take me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, looks like PG is going to be traveling here to the Colorado. Bring your
Coming
hat
to Colorado.
for a conference. Yeah, I've been sending them videos on Colorado Speak because we have different ways to say Colorado depending on what we're talking about and places around here we say differently and stuff. So I've been like schooling him so he can kind of blend in with the crowd. It's hilarious. But let me see. Oh, there's Bryan's Twitter again. Thank you. What was I going to ask you, Bryan? I was going to ask you something serious, not about breath. Okay, it was something serious. It was actually serious. Give me a sec while I think of it, and then shorts all year round. PJ was born in shorts. He was. I think he was born in shorts. Guy's always wearing shorts. Pretty warm today. Elan's channel. Yes, thank you for that. And don't get violent, but at least he's saying slap the like button if you're just joining us. But no violence here. I'm kidding. And cousin live in Colorado. Yeah, ask him to say Colorado Springs and then Colorado. Did you hear the difference?
Yeah.
We say Colorado Springs and then from Colorado. Yeah. Colorado and then Colorado Springs. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's weird. But it's cold in winter. Yeah, it's horrible. Oh God, what was I gonna say? My baby, he wanted to come on the show, but he's bird watching right now, so keeping him busy. That last show we did, oh my God, Brian, you should have seen it. It was horrible. I had to put myself off camera like every 5 minutes. My cats were in the background.
That's literally my cat's meowing at me right now. She wants me to let her
Is
in.
he? She's like,
Yeah.
Have you guys done the cat challenge that they have on TikTok where you play the music from Egypt from back in the day where they like praise the cats and they get the cat's reaction? Everyone's doing that right now.
I haven't seen that.
Look it up on
Look
TikTok. They do the Egyptian music from back in the day and how
yeah.
they praise the cat. So it actually is like very old school music, not old school,
Huh.
but you know what I mean, like spiritual music. And the cats like go like this. And some of the cats, it's almost like they've been here before. It's really cute. We have to try it.
Wow.
Oh, I'll have to try it.
Do they do
That's
the
interesting.
Steve Martin King Tut? You know,
That's why I guess that's what they were hoping to see.
What's
if
that
the
look
cats
like?
would
Can you
stop.
show us? Can you show us what that looks like? There it is. Okay.
Look
Remember
at
it was a
that.
dance. It was a dance back in the day. Once again, Brian, we're aging ourselves because there was a song back in the 80s. Remember
Walk like
that?
an Egyptian. Oh my God, every time it came on, I'd hide.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Ay,
That was
Yeah.
I think it was the
Yes.
Bengals.
the
That was the
Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah.
the Bengals.
Yeah.
They were all
Jeez.
cute too. The Bengals. Walk like an
Bananarama,
Egyptian.
the Go-Go's.
Bananarama.
Bananarama.
Oingo
I used to love
Boingo.
Bananarama.
All this stuff's going
Smiths.
over Brian's head because I think he's a baby duck.
I know. He's like, what are
I've
they
heard
talking
some of these.
about?
I've heard some of
He's
these.
just a baby. Have you? He's like, I'm
Oh
hanging
my
out with
God,
a bunch
these
of old
groups are
people.
so good. They were all like the European groups were really big in like the 80s and early 90s. It was like new wave music. And we haven't had that kind of wave again. It was really cool music.
Yeah, I love music. Tell us
You
something.
know what? They played in old movies a lot of times. They played in movies and they'll kind of go back. Most of the songs you hear are just songs that they revived anyway. They're just samples of old stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And then the kids are like, how do they know that song? It's like, girl, let me
Yes, when I tell them it's not the original song, they argue with you.
They're like-
That's not the original song.
But then our parents did that too, right? We're all singing this song, and my mom's singing, and I'm like, how do you know that? Who did? They look. She did the same thing, like,
Well, you know, my
oh,
son,
wait to the plane.
he knows.
That was
You-
LAPD.
You got to say the line, James. Say the line. Say the line. Fantasy Island.
The
No,
plane,
that-
the
that-
plane.
That was LAPD helicopter going somewhere.
Oh,
Oh.
you're in trouble now. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say the plane, the plane.
The plane,
You know what,
the
Brian?
plane.
I kept hearing people. I've actually been getting some friends that have been acting in some really huge stuff, and then they're actually saying, "Oh my gosh, anybody got some jobs that I can do? Because it's getting hard. Why? Do you know what the thing is on what the deal is on why it's getting hard to find stuff out there?
The production is slowed down. Like, do you think that, adding to what Marie's saying, do you think it's gotten back since the strike? You know, doesn't seem like it, has it?
Definitely not. Yeah, it's still very slow. My audition numbers this year are significantly low. Almost. I'd have to look at my numbers from last year and this year so far. I might just barely see better numbers this year than when we were actually in the strike.
Mhm.
It's still pretty low. And some people think. Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was just gonna say I've heard some people speculate maybe in the fall, but some people even think we won't see numbers get more regular till next year.
Mm.
Well, go ahead. No, you go.
Okay. I personally know of, several crew people. Everybody is just getting ready to die because there's no work. They have bills to pay. They have,
Yeah.
and nothing's happening. There's one guy I know. He's actually selling off his stuff because and he's just like freaking out. There's another guy I know who's he actually is a best boy for Warner Brothers, so he's got whatever comes on the lot, right? So he's But he says that everything is going to pick up like in a couple months. But I think he's wrong because everything is slow.
It's
And then
really slow.
and the houses that rental houses, people that rent out cameras and lenses and lights and etc. They're not doing well. They're not, and they're on the verge of having to sell everything off and close because there's no work. There's no work, and you have to remember that when Hollywood business contracts like that, that it not only affects the actual studios and the people who work in the industry, it affects the laundromat or the pizza place down the street because like a lot of times it's later in the afternoon and they'll order 20 pizzas from the pizza shop down the road, so he gets a boost. In the restaurants and the lumber yards, they don't sell as much plywood, 2x4s. They go, hey, we need a whatever, run down to Home Depot and get one of these. Well, that's not happening because everything is slow. There wasn't even a pilot season this year. Everything's really slow.
It seems like it was oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't think it has anything to do with COVID because that was before. Then we had the strikes, and the strikes are over. Now IATSE is in negotiations with the producers, but that all seems to be going well. I haven't heard or read anything bad about any of that. Although there was an article last week in Deadline about, during COVID, California, the EDD, the unemployment stuff, they basically got ripped off. Okay, I don't know how, whatever. But the governor, Newsom, is got something going on where, and it's going to affect the whole studio, everybody that works it, because, and I don't know exactly how this works, but something regarding what they call loan out companies that pay cast and crew. They want to put some kind of constrictions on that. And what that's going to do, from what I've read, is it's going to make people just go elsewhere. So Atlanta, you might pick up, New York, Chicago, Phoenix, who knows, but if it costs too much for them to shoot here in LA, they will go elsewhere. So.
Well, to add on to what you were saying, we lived in the UK and my son was born there, and my son's friend's mother is a she's a big agent in the UK, and she actually submitted my son for something, and I talked about us going back to the UK, although he doesn't have an accent anymore, so basically he's American. She said, but it's been so slow here that they're hiring a lot of American actors. So many American actors, they finally are starting to open up in the UK. The only problem is, of course, we're auditioning, just use tape now. Ever since COVID, we've been able to just audition and send stuff in. But when they have the callbacks, they prefer you to be in person. That's the only problem. But there's a lot of actors going to the UK getting work consistently. And she said this past year, because everyone's been complaining when we went on strike. There's the kitty cat. So that's an option for people I know if you're overseas, if you get a chance, she's
I'd
the
love to
one who
work
books
overseas.
people on some big shows. She actually has something that's a Netflix show that she's casting right now, and they're using some American actors because she had contacted my son about it.
Now, how do I get in touch with her?
Huh?
I said, how do I get in touch with her?
Oh, I can get you in touch with her.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love to work overseas. That's like a dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, I miss some things in the UK, even though I call it the IOD, the Island of Dank. But there are things that I do miss about it. And right now I could use a trip over there. So I said to her, I was like, look, he needs to get this job because I need to go over there. But Marie will get us in touch with each other, and I'll put you in touch with her. She's done major shows.
That's awesome.
She was also, what's the book, the Harry Potter? She had clients in Harry Potter. There's a show called Top Boy, which I love. I don't know if you guys ever watched Top Boy. It's kind of like, did you ever watch Snowfall? It's like the British version of Snowfall. A really good show, even though the lead actor in Snowfall is actually British, and it's like an American urban kid. He's actually very British. Matter of fact, he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and his name is Idris. I can't think of right now, but it is Idris, like Idris Elba, but that's not his name. They were interviewing him, and he was saying how they had to take him to the hood and teach him how to be more urban and get the dialect. And he goes, then they took me to this restaurant called Popeyes. And it was so funny because he thought Popeyes was a restaurant. It's the way he said it. If you watch the show, you would never know. They can get our accent so down.
They
but I don't know
do.
why it's so hard to copy the British accent.
Yeah.
But they can
Well,
play an
that's-
American
yeah.
person, you would never know.
And there's a lot of different dialects in
Yeah.
English
Yes.
too. I think there's
Yeah, so
something
you're gonna either be the Londoner. When I was there, I auditioned quite a few things. So I remember being in a casting office, and they said, "Well, only bring the Londoners in." And I'm like, "What's a Londoner?" So the Londoner
Right.
is the closest to the Queen's English. They're not Cockney,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have a Cockney accent, and then if you live like outskirts, like they discriminate by your accent depending on where you
do.
are. Now, after
Yeah.
living there for a while, I got used to it because I remember sending my mother into like the store to buy something. We're at the gas station, and the guy there, first of all, he was Indian, then he was Cockney, and he says, "Oh, well, how much petrol?" And the way he said it to her, because it's a similar language, but all the words mean different things. And she came out in tears
Yeah.
because I got frustrated with her. And I said, "Oh, let me go in there. He means petrol. He means this." Because his accent was so strong because you're at the outskirts of London. So it is true. And so they are very meticulous when they are casting. If you are a
Yeah.
Queen's English, a Londoner, you have that particular thing for they won't even audition you unless you have the accent. Anyway, but
They absolutely
a lot
love
of
American. They love American actors. Yeah. Which is great.
not necessarily. They don't like us that much.
Well, they like to use us.
Perception.
They
No one
put
likes
that
us
right in the
overseas. No one likes us, but they are really open now. That's what I'm saying. They're really open now because it was very hard because unless it was like an international audition when I was living there. It was
Yeah.
hard for me to get auditions unless it was specifically for someone American. Now, a lot of their shows and a lot of their films, because there's so many European films now, and they're filming like in Prague and different places. So yes, it would be great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let's take them some Popeyes and chocolate, and they'll be our friends.
Somewhere,
And
somewhere.
We'll take them
Popeyes and
some
chocolate.
Popeyes and chocolate. Yeah, and be like, or some tacos. Tacos make everybody
Tacos
happy.
is what they need. They have the
Is what they
worst
need.
Mexican food there. We went to get some salsa and chips, and the chips were actually French fries. And we go, seriously, like it was a Mexican restaurant, so we really thought they knew what chips were.
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
They would
Just
make a lot of
reminded
money
me.
if you had a good Mexican restaurant there.
Right.
You just reminded me. Just a number of years ago, I went to Australia, and I was in Melbourne, Australia, and I was just. I'm born and raised here in Southern California. I was just craving Mexican food, and walking around going, "Are there any Mexican restaurants?" Oh, get down there. I think there's one down there. So I walked down to this place, right, and this guy comes over, and he's the waiter, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, okay, whatever, as long as the food's good. But then he's not Mexican, but he's pretending to be.
Oh no.
So he's trying to talk with a Mexican English accent, and I'm just looking at him, and so I ordered in Spanish, and he was like,
Oh, now I
"What do
gotta try and
do?"
speak it.
So then he's like, he comes back, he goes, "I don't speak Spanish." He goes, "But nobody here knows what that's like." He says, "So don't tell anybody, please." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, what are you?" Because he was dark. And he looks around. He goes, "I'm Pakistani." so you got this Pakistani guy pretending to be who's
Mexican. That's funny.
And so then he brought salsa and chips, right? And it was just like, I go, "Dude, I need to go back in your kitchen and show you how to make salsa."
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
So,
a very close relationship to England. And the thing is also, because I lived there, I was like, okay, I'll make the Mexican food, right? Trying to find the ingredients was difficult.
Oh, forget
because you're
it.
not going
Yeah.
to get cheddar cheese, you're going to get Gloucester cheese or Leicester cheese, which is their
Yeah.
version. It's very close. It's interesting because I now love those cheeses, but it's very close to cheddar cheese. So trying to
Yeah.
find tortillas, like everything was so difficult just to find. So what I would do is I
Right.
would come back to the States and I would take a suitcase of food. And so the guy at the airport, I would always fly Virgin Airlines because I like that flight going over. And the guy would just look at me and shake his head. He goes, "Oh, okay. I know what's going on. I have so much food in the suitcase because there's stuff you
Tortillas.
couldn't get."
That's hilarious.
But it just realized how spoiled we are. But I tell people,
Yeah.
food is decent. Just don't eat any British food when you go. Do not eat British food.
Well, I kinda
Except
like
maybe
bangers.
fish and chips, maybe.
No,
Fish and
that's
chips.
bad too. It's bad.
I like bangers. Of course, I haven't had a banger.
What do you eat then?
They
Just
have
the stuff that you brought in your
you
suitcase?
have at least 35 to 40 different cultural ethnicities in London, which is a smaller version of Manhattan. It's just like Manhattan, but smaller. So there's so many ethnic foods that are delicious. Like you get Indian food, you get a lot of Asian fusion is really good. The Italian is good because you're right next to Italy. So you eat everything but that, but they have not mastered Mexican food. But you get Spanish tapas now. They have Spanish food, but not the kind of food that we like.
I thought you said Spanish topless. I'm like, what the heck is that?
You might find that
Just
there.
want to say hi to Doomcock. Thank you for gracing us with your presence here and saying hi and putting out the show for me. Thank you so much. It's good to see you here. Always good to say hi to the Doomcock. And yeah, good to see you. And Bryan, I'm making sure to watch for time because girl, I can talk, honey. I can talk. So and I hope you're having as much fun as you did last time, because last time was fun, and I'm hoping we're
Of course, yeah. And learning a lot of great things, which is awesome.
Yeah. And if anybody needs sound effects, James has shown us that he is perfect at it. He's got the phone, the car, the plane,
The helicopter.
The bush.
helicopter.
I saw the water hose behind your head. There's a water hose too if we want the water effect.
Right there, yeah. I could maybe put the hose up here and flood your little your little rainfall thing in the background there.
Yes, I definitely need it for that. But I really want some s'mores. I'm like actually waiting for the marshmallows.
I know. Well, I started thinking, what do we do? What kind of food we can put together this time that we do? I was like, nah, Brian's gonna be like, nah, it only worked once.
I mean, after all this Mexican food talk, I'm getting hungry. I'm like, oh man, I need to go get some some chips and some queso, salsa.
I know. I did. Now I'm craving some tacos, man. Okay, everybody, hard or crunchy? Hard or crunchy?
Both. I like both.
Yeah, me too. I do. I like flour tortillas.
Yes.
I like flour tortillas, but I like hard. Depends on what it is. Depends on what I'm having. If I'm having like steak versus shredded, you know what I mean? If I'm having shredded beef or steak chunks, depends on what it is. But I like the soft flour ones.
My taco door swings both ways, so yeah.
Fish tacos are really good.
Fish tacos are great. James, you haven't said? Are you trying not to be like, I'm afraid to say?
I'm just getting hungry, thinking
of
tacos. I'm thinking of Roberto's in San Diego. I'm thinking of pizza.
My God, that sounds so good. I make a lot of Italian food, so that's my expertise in Italian food.
Oh God, you guys! I think it's about close to eating time because it sounds like we're all hungry. We're not hungry. We are hungry.
We hangry.
We're so hangry. I'm gonna make sure that you two get in touch with each other because Bryan, that way she can get you that information. I think you should.
Yeah, definitely. And she's really cool. She's Greek woman, very nice. Totally will like her. She comes actually because her son lives. You're in Atlanta. Her son lives here now. He's young, but they go back and forth.
Nice.
So she comes to the States every 6 months.
Cool. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Usually when I put my guests together, I do it for a purpose, and I like PJ and I always do the We Grow Together, and we do that mostly for our channels, but also I like to do that for my guests because somehow there's always a connection. We're all somehow connected to Kevin Bacon. So I'm just kidding. So I like the connection and that you guys can help expand on, stuff, when you're in the biz, you never know, how you guys can, actually be close to related in some way, shape or form. Right. So I think it's good to have that network as well.
So are we supposed to play a game where you name somebody, and if we know that person, then we see if the other two people know that person?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, how crazy is it that you were in Seinfeld and Alana was on there as well too? I mean, that's
she didn't know that till just now. I never mentioned it before.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't know. At least that proves I'm not a sneaky crazy woman, and I, sit there and look at your stuff. I keep pretending like I could see. Okay.
I know I can't.
Let me
see. I'm not even trying. I'm feel my way.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start. We're all. Yeah, I always tell people my stomach sounds like Chewbacca underwater right now because I'm so hungry. It's all, my stomach is growling.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. We gotta do tapas. Yeah, Tapas Tuesday.
Yes.
I was trying to say that with the accent. Let me just wrap up the chat here. Yeah, right. Brian could pass for the son of Kevin Bacon and Trevor's sequel.
Definitely.
I got a funny story where I actually had a girlfriend in high who had her whole family calling me Bacon because she thought I looked like Kevin Bacon. She tried to get me to learn the Footloose dance.
Did she have a crush on you? Is that why she wanted to date you? Because you look like Kevin Bacon?
Hopefully it was because of me, not because of my likeness.
Right.
Like, why are you calling me that?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right. Oh, so yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to date me because I look like a star. That would be horrible. But there's Elan's channel for those who don't know it, and I think the wrenches. Thank you, and then PJ as well for putting in everybody's channel and links to everything, so we can all. Oh, look, somebody brought tacos.
Oh, that's so unfair. We're all hungry. That's so wrong.
I know, and those are the crunchy ones. So. Yes. Okay, guys. I see that it's about that time. I like to make sure to keep it for an hour so we can all go eat. Because now I'm hungry.
Nice to see everybody. I will introduce you to that woman. You want to go overseas? And anybody else who wants to go overseas?
Yeah.
Love it.
No, sweetness. Well, it's good to have all of you here. Boy, I feel like the oddball. I'm the only non-professional actress. Wait, I did act. I did a movie. What was the name of it? I keep trying to think of the name of it. I'm gonna have to remember that and put it in there. And then you guys will go watch it and be like, "There's Maria. There's Maria." I forgot the name of it.
We're gonna watch. You're in it. We're watching.
I did news anchor stuff. So that that's what I did. But yeah, it counts, I guess. And then I was in a movie, but I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, so guys, thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much, PJ, nice stream Maz. Thank you. And for those of you who don't know, Maz is my nickname. It's an Australian. It means Maria in Australia. So that's why he calls me Maz, because that's my nickname in Australia. So that's why I was like, why is she named? Oh my gosh, I was just talking about you, Time. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. I've been wondering how you've been. Thanks for popping in here. And anyway, guys, always so fun. Thank you for joining me, all of you, and I will see you in the screen soon. Looking forward to all your work, Brian. And everybody follow Brian so you can see all the other stuff he's doing, because you really have been blessed with the things that you're doing. So
I do feel blessed.
Good to see you on there. Your pictures are awesome too. You're just so photogenic, you. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Cutie patootie. I'm old enough to be his mom,
She's
people. So,
blushing. She's
yes.
making you blush.
So anyway, yes, who's lurking? You know he's lurking. All right, well, guys, be good to each other. Try to go adopt an animal, especially if you can, a black cat. Those guys are hard to adopt. But
Yes.
keep Hollywood alive. Keep these actors alive. Keep the businesses alive. I would hate to see stuff go, because then when we can finally get it back, it won't be there, you know? So
And
do
everyone
what
else
you
who
can.
needs jobs, all the other people, like you said, that, you know, the businesses,
Mm-hmm.
to keep everyone so they can keep their stuff, you know?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So let me push the right button. I don't want to push the wrong one because
Nice to meet you.
yeah.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you
you guys.
guys.
Nice to meet you, James.
Bye.
Oh, that's why she looked blurry earlier, because I wasn't wearing my glasses. Okay, sorry. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me do a little something here.
You're an interesting species. We'll meet again.
That was
I was
cool.
trying to yeah, I love that. And I was also trying to delay it because like I was looking for my outro and I found it. Like how I did that. I'm so professional. Okay, guys, thank you guys all for joining. We'll see you guys later.
Hi, everyone.
Wanna leave this town. I'm saying, lover, if you wanna go, I'm down. Darling, we'll make the biggest thing. Hey.